struggled on offense in the first quarter. They've rushed for negative 18 yards on 17 carries. On all 30 offensive snaps, half have been for 0 or negative yards. Head coach Jeremy Pruitt says this problem must come from a disconnect between practices and games. He says there's a lot of mental errors in the beginning of the game, and they need to focus on executing from kickoff. Not too many things to boast or brag on as a walk-on, but Paul Baines' biggest highlight definitely came earlier this week when he was awarded a scholarship. And you talk about his schedule. While he was not on scholarship, he worked as much as 2 part-time jobs, played football, and also had to deal with school, those 2 part-time jobs being working at a farm and at Champs. I talked to him and he said he couldn't believe that all this hard work has paid off for him. So he's really excited to work a little less and enjoy life as a scholarship athlete. Coach Pruitt, the team had some momentum in the second quarter. They're scoring, but how do you keep that momentum and slow down Alabama in the second half?
Well, we're not going to slow them down until we get another recruiting cycle, I can tell you that.
Madre London has a pretty interesting story about what he wants to do after his football career wraps up. He grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, around the Boys and Girls Club, and he wants to open his own community center because the Boys and Girls Club affected his life so positively. So he's learning in classes right now about what it takes to give back to a community. He says he wants to start in Knoxville and move over to Little Rock, Arkansas after his career wraps up. It's no lie, Tennessee is missing starting center Brandon Kennedy, who's out the rest of the year with a knee injury. I spoke with Ryan Johnson, who's taking his place today. He says that he feels the team is confident, and that's because they went through 20 different combinations on the line in fall camp. Coach, a couple seconds left on the clock. You take a shot down the field. Why make that decision?
Well, we had field position. There's only 6 seconds on the clock, so we just took a shot.
Scoring twice with a couple minutes left in the second quarter. How does that help the offense, the team going into the second half?
Well, it's good to get points right there. We got to play 30 more minutes.
We see Calvert in for about the 3rd offensive drive in a row, and we haven't seen much of him this year. That's because he had a red shirt last year due to knee injuries. He's had quite a few knee injuries, dealt with that in high school, gave up the game in high school. His high school football coach convinced him to come back, and that led to a scholarship at UT. He almost gave it up again last year, decided to come back, rehab. Coach Pruitt has been happy about his rehab, said he's gotten in shape and lost a lot of weight this season. On offense, 1 for 7 on 3rd downs, 8 first downs. How do you do a better job?
Well, for one, we got to be able to run the football. We hadn't been able to run the ball.
Tennessee recognized 13 seniors today as it's their last game in Neyland Stadium, and what they've been through really says a lot about their character and how they've dealt with it. They've seen 2 different head coaches, 1 interim head coach. Almost every position has had a different position coach, 4 strength coaches, 3 nutritionists, and Coach Pruitt said the seniors did a great job of buying into the program right away. He says they serve as a good example for the rest of the team, and many of the seniors say Tennessee taught them how to face adversity. One thing that's for sure, these seniors want to finish their careers at Tennessee by playing in a bowl game. Yeah, we've seen him adjust a lot of things and go in huddles, but we've never seen him pull out a whiteboard and start drawing up plays. He's specifically talking to the secondary right now, has just left the huddle to go coach the offense, but pretty interesting to see him that animated in the huddle helping coach. Coach Pruitt, between the fumbles and the interception, how can you limit the mistakes in the second half?
Well, we made 4 turnovers in the first half, gave them short fields. Kick an onside kick. We don't block the guy that we're supposed to block.
Coach, Tennessee scoring 28 points after the weather delay. What did you tell the team in that delay?
That we needed to execute. We needed to execute our assignments, play with good technique.
Today's game is Tennessee's salute to service game, and this game means a little something extra to Marquez Callaway. He comes from a military family. His mom, his dad, his brother, his grandpa, and 2 uncles all served in the military. He said he was looking to go into the military when he was growing up, but once he got those football offers, his route went differently. He says maybe he'll look into it after football is over. He says he's very thankful for his family and their service. Yeah, he didn't start playing football until his junior year in high school. Thankfully, he did because his Aunt Rhonda, who he lived with, said, I can't send you and your brothers off to college unless you earn a scholarship. So he did, going to Rhode Island, transferred to Arizona Western Community College, and now he's at Tennessee. And you got to think he looks back and is thankful that he made that switch from basketball to football in high school, and he's playing on a big stage and earning a degree in college. You know, after the Kentucky game, Coach Pruitt, pretty complimentary of his team, saying that they tried hard for a good amount of the game, not 60 minutes. Well, this team is still searching for 60 minutes of sound football. They have one more chance in the Vanderbilt game, possibly a bowl game to get it together. But Coach Pruitt says it starts in practice. It starts creating those habits and trying it over and over again. Both teams are fighting for bowl eligibility, sitting at 5-6, and Coach Pruitt says this game is all about pride. Tennessee wants a win for the seniors. The Vols want to win to get to a bowl game in Pruitt's first year as Tennessee's head coach, and they want to win for recruiting. And I think it says a lot about the senior class and their maturity, wanting to get to a bowl game, not only for themselves, but for the betterment of the program and how it can help big in recruiting for the season to come. Coach, 2 interceptions out of your defense. Auburn scores late in the second half. What does the defense need to do to get more stops in the second half?
Well, some of these guys need to go check themselves, all right? So we get one-on-one, let's make a tackle.